Welcome back, everyone, to this edition of Against the Ropes. I'm your host, Rich Quinones. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, RichQ on Q, Tumblr.com, on Q Sports. Always subscribe and follow the YouTube page. You can just Google Rich Quinones, boxing, MMA, combat sports. Love the feedback as well. All right, we've been talking about it for a while now. There's a wonderful card that's going to take place in a couple weeks. It's going to be in the Crown Plaza Hotel in Quebec, Canada. It's going to be the first all-pro female card in North American history. A bunch of boxers making their pro debut, and the multi-talented Maureen Riordon joins us for a couple moments as she preps for her pro debut. She'll also be taking on another boxer who is debuting. That is Lita Mae Button. It's going to be slated for 4 rounds. It should be a dandy. Riordon, a light welterweight, multi-talented, does a lot of things outside of combat sports, and she's kind enough to join us for a couple moments. Maureen, first and foremost, we appreciate it. How you feeling getting set to make your pro debut in a couple weeks?
Exciting, busy summer for sure. Constant camp that just hasn't stopped, but it's been a blast. It's how I really prefer to train. I've always done much better with a solid goal in front of me, regardless of whether it was academics growing up or even honestly even academics now. Everything I do in my life, I very, very goal-oriented. So it's really exciting. I am thrilled to be able to be a part of an inaugural event like this and to be able to compete with so many of the established boxers. And then I love seeing the number of women's MMAs that are making their transition into boxing as well. So I think it's going to be a great event, and I'm just really excited, like I said, to be a part of it.
Do you feel any different knowing that it's your pro debut? You might take on a boxer that had a little more, I don't want to say distinguished amateur career, but a lot more fights. But again, you come in having certain disciplines in other combat sports. So how do you look at it mentally that it's going to be your pro debut? Any more nerves, even though you fought on a big-time stage in other combat sports?
No, I don't have any nerves. I never really do. Luckily, I'm glad I don't. But I think my goals in this are a little bit different than your average fighter. And because of that, I think that's why I don't have so many nerves. You have some fighters that, they sit around, 5 years old saying, when I grow up, I want to be a fighter. And how far they go and whether they, succeed and win in their fights and which promotions they fight for, they're so identified by that. And, more power to them. But what brought me to it was really an accident. I was never athletic growing up. This was really something I just kind of stumbled upon 4 years ago. One of my friends was training and suggested that I get involved because I was looking for, something to lose weight and just meet new people to kind of surround myself with healthy-minded people. And so, when I stumbled upon it, I was definitely late in life, and I just decided that, this is something I really liked. A lot of people told me that I didn't have what it took, and that challenge was really exciting to me. I've always had a passion for motivational speaking and writing. It's really what I wanted. When I was in second grade, that's what I was saying I wanted to do when I grew up was, a published author. And I knew I wanted to help people and inspire people from a really early age. So, I just saw an opportunity within combat sports that people said I couldn't do it, and I said, watch me, So, obviously I really want to win, but this is about challenging myself. This is about picking the toughest opponents, putting myself in situations that most people would shy away from, and seeing if I can succeed. And if I don't succeed, it's about showing everybody that follows me that, life beats you up sometimes, and you can still stand in the end of it. And so every fight I take, it's always with that goal of giving myself a big challenge and inspiring people if I make it through despite the odds, and like I said, inspiring people if I don't make it through, just because it's not going to stop me from continuing.
A lot of the girls like yourself do have a background in mixed martial arts or Muay Thai or kickboxing, so all you girls are going to come in ridiculous shape, because I don't think cardio is ever going to be an issue. Now, mind you, a lot of the fights are 4 or 6 rounders. Some title fights are 10 rounds. Most of the time, depending upon the purse, they might agree on 8 rounds. So from that standpoint, you're kind of already ahead of the game.
Yeah, mine is going to be 4 second rounds. I was we were really hoping for a 6, but because of the way the commission is set up, they had to do 4 rounds. But, so that's, usually I do 3 5-minute rounds, and the 2-minute rounds, I mean, that will pose a challenge because I think you get your internal clock. So it will force, those of us who are used to having 5 minutes to get in there and do work, it's going to force us to kind of, get to it a lot quicker than we're used to. So, in one sense, it is a challenge, stylistically and technically speaking. But yeah, as far as cardio, I mean, it would be very embarrassing if I were to not be in cardio shape. I'm definitely ready for the 3 5-minute rounds. Fun to watch those of us who typically do MMA to see how we handle having to speed it up, and it's going to be a big shock to our general internal body clock that we carry in our fights. So,
boxing going to be the main focus here going forward, or are you still going to continue to be well-rounded? I guess I'm asking because it would be tough to really pursue something full-time in that capacity when you're talented in other areas, and you might want to do the kickboxing, the MMA, the Muay Thai, the mixed martial arts. So where would the focus be going forward?
I think in all 3 fights that I've taken within the discipline, that's the most common question I'm being asked. Even though I've had, 3 months to develop my answer now, I'm still really not sure. I think it all fell in my lap as an opportunity, and we jumped on it. None of it was necessarily planned. I mean, my career was definitely more within MMA than it was kickboxing or boxing. But when the opportunity came up to compete, especially on such, either high platform or inaugural events like this, and again, for what my goals are within combat sports in my career, it was just such an opportunity that I absolutely want to jump on it. Now, where I'll go from there, again, I'm not sure. I think, again, it'll probably be opportunity. I love all 3, and each of them is just for a completely different reason. Boxing, I think, is really fun to be able to just narrow the focus down to one thing and really improve in that. It's a lot easier to measure your growth, when you're looking at just personal development. And it's just a good old-fashioned, traditional slugfest sport. Anybody's got to love that. The kickboxing is a beautiful art form. I think there's so much you can do with kicks that's just amazing to watch. And then MMA just brings this huge adrenaline rush that you can't really get anywhere else because there's just so many possibilities of where the fight could go. It's very difficult to predict, and it can change whether you're in the lead or behind. It can change in a second, So I don't know. I definitely don't have any preference at the moment where I go. If I get offered more boxing fights, I will gladly take them. And if MMA is offered first, I will probably go that route also. I think I'll always kind of consider if, let's say, all 3 are offered at the same time, I would probably look at, which one would help me meet those goals of, again, putting me in a situation that's very challenging so that I can continue to reach out to my fan base on the motivational and, inspirational level. I would say the majority of the people that follow me, and I definitely have, fight fans that follow, and I have lots of them, and I love them. But I also have a very unique fan base, and, that a lot of mine find me because they're searching through the motivational speakers network, and they've never even seen a fight before in any of the disciplines. And so that's actually quite a bit of my fan base. So it allows me to really have a lot of flexibility as far as where I'm going.
I think it's the fact that you're open and you're willing to try a new challenge and do something a little different, and being able to perform at a high level in all different sports, male or female. It makes that said person much more appealing, much more marketable, so to speak. And with that, there's more opportunities, because the bottom line is, female, when it comes to MMA right now, and what we've seen with females in the MMA, and of course, the Ronda Rouseys and the Cyborgs and the Miesha Tate, all those girls, it's because they know how to market themselves. They're really damn good at what they do, mixed in with, let's be honest, a little appeal, good looking. They know how to present themselves. So total packages, and that's why it's been blown away to some extent, female boxing. However, there's been more of an increase and an influx of female fighters fighters over the last several years, especially over in Europe. That's because that's where the payday is. So I guess my point is, you know, you're going to have opportunities regardless because you're willing to kind of step out and think outside the box a little bit. Let me ask you this real quick. Just going to MMA, what's your thought right now on Ronda Rousey and the fact that everyone considers she'll go down as the greatest female mixed martial artist ever?
You know, I think that there is a lot of people that watch her because they love her. There's a lot of people that watch her because they hate her. And there's a lot of people that watch her because they're just, you know, kind of in the middle and just sitting there in awe. I think she is definitely a very, very talented judo player, obviously. And she had the courage and the belief in herself to take that and turn it around to MMA. And I think she's a perfect example of somebody that really believes in herself and doesn't care what people are saying and insists upon growth all the time. The thing that I'm really impressed about her the most, if you watch her, do I think she's the best female fighter in the world? Absolutely not. Nowhere close. I think that Chris Cyborg is a much more talented fighter. I think above that, if you're going to go pound for pound, Megumi Fuji, I think pound for pound is absolutely the best female fighter in the world by far. But watching Ronda Rousey improve in a well-rounded manner from one camp to the next, you know, she's fighting more than I've heard of anybody fighting lately.
Yeah.
And, you know, she only has maybe 3 months between fights, and she is kicking it. I love it. You know, she's improving so much. Everybody said she wasn't a striker, and then 2 months later she comes in with, you know, fast hands, and 3 months later she comes back with fast hands and great combos, and then she still manages not to lack in her initial skill that she had. So, yeah, you know, I think like her or hate her personally doesn't really come into play whatsoever. Just speaking about her as a fighter, she's definitely one of the more intelligent fighters I've seen, improving between fights, and I think she definitely has the ability, if she sticks with it, to very quickly become one of the best female fighters in the world. But right now, I think she's just the smartest female fighter in the world.
No, and listen, I agree with that because you're right. I mean, everyone always looked at her stand-up game, and then they looked at her ground game and the fact that she dispatches opponents so fast. And again, the markability, opinionated, outlandish. It sells. It sells. That's just the bottom line. Two more before I let you get out of here. You mentioned that you do have a little bit a passion, creativity for some writing. Is this something where, you know, give us a little plug if you have any social media, if a website, thing that you like to promote or push as we start to wrap things up?
I'm very, very active on social media. Again, I really reach out to my fans. I love to hear from them. I love to get to know them personally as much as I can, as time allows. So go to Facebook. I'm very, very active on Facebook at Maureen Babyface Riordon, Riordon. I leave it all open. Messaging capability is there. And I'm also on Instagram and Twitter pretty regularly as well. The handle on both of those is Babyface MMA. And then I do have a website, MaureenRiordonMMA.com, and I'm really trying hard to keep a blog that I am, you know, updating weekly on that, and trying to, again, make it a little bit more personal, let people get to know me and interact more regularly and become a part of what I'm doing as far as the community outreach and, again, the motivational speaking and stuff like that goes. I think it gives people a great opportunity to get involved in something great without having to come heavily out of pocket with time or money. So, yeah, please absolutely follow me on those.
Well, we appreciate a couple moments. We look forward to seeing you in action. Of course, I'll be down ringside. Look forward to that. I know you won't be tired. All the things that you're doing, I know you'll be pumped. The cardio is going to be there. You'll get set to go when you take on Lita Mae Button in a couple weeks in August.
Wonderful. Thank you. I look forward to it. I'm really excited.
All right, Maureen, I appreciate a couple moments of your time, and be well, and we'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
Thanks so much.
All right, so there you have it, another edition of Against the Ropes in the books. We appreciate Maureen Riordon for a couple moments of her time as we talked about her upcoming pro debut against Lita Mae Button. If you guys want more information, we've talked about it now, you can always go on Twitter and you can follow NCWB at Coliseum Boxing, or you can join on Facebook or Nordic Coliseum Women Boxing at Live riordon.ca for tickets. It'll be in Ottawa, Ontario. I'll keep giving you guys a lot of more information leading up to the event, which is going to take place August 15th. I'll be ringside calling the action. All right, so we appreciate a couple moments with Maureen Riordon. That's going to do it for another edition of Against the Ropes. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, RichQOnQ. Check out the OnQSportsTumblr.com. Follow us on Instagram as well, and check out the YouTube page. And as we close it out, you'll see all the information as well. All right, everyone, have a good day, and we'll talk to you next time ringside.